Welcome in to I Remember My First Time. Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
I like the sound of that.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
That sounds delightful, BJ.
I don't know why it got me that time. We've done this like 50 times. It got me that time.
It's such a weird transition that I try to make it weird every time. So.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
We love shitty movies. Sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we love the shit out of movies. In this week's IRMFT masterpiece, a movie made for this podcast, the 2018 classic Den of Thieves.
That somehow neither of us have seen. How? How did both of us not see this movie?
No idea. It's got Nikki Sabatka, Gerrad Butler.
Check.
It's a heist movie.
My favorite.
And so much action and violence.
My favorite. And boxes of bullets. There's not a ton of like gun deaths in this movie, but there are so many bullets flying.
So many bullets.
Oh, Jacob. Loose lips sink ships.
BJ, the food here kind of sucks, but we come here for the ass.
I am BJ Leica, and I ain't cuffing up.
Joined as always by me, Jacob Bekus, and that's good because I didn't bring any.
No kinky shit planned?
Bro, what a badass little movie. Like, what a badass little line right there. I ain't cuffing up. I didn't bring any.
And then I believe he goes, I can see that.
Yes, that's exactly what it said. Oh, so cool. This movie just oozed coolness.
Yes, yeah. This movie is trying to be one thing and one thing only, and that's cool. Yeah. And do you know what? It does it.
Yeah, the most uncool character in this movie ended up being the coolest character after it was all said and done. Because Ice Cube's kid sucked in this movie for pretty much the whole movie. And then
really? I enjoyed him the entire time. Oh, you're saying sucked in terms of like he wasn't Nikki Sabatka, 50 Cent, Gerrad Butler cool.
Yeah. Okay, he wasn't up here.
Yeah.
And he was the kind of whiny, giving up his friends, kind of like you don't do that shit kind of guy. And then at the end it was like, no, this guy was the fucking man.
Yeah, he was.
All right, so tell us about the movie, BJ.
Ooh, all right. Den of Thieves, described by Netflix. You're going to love this one, Jacob.
Okay.
This is how I don't know why we never watched this movie. A highly skilled crew of bank robbers plotting a heist at the supposedly impenetrable Federal Reserve face off against an elite unit of LA cops.
Awesome. I'm down right now. Let's watch it again. 2 hours and 20 minutes of it. Sign me up right now. We'll finish the podcast later.
Yeah, fuck this podcast. Let's just watch it again.
All right. Tell me what people thought of this, because I'm sure they're wrong.
IMDb, 7 out of 10.
Okay, little low, but not bad.
For a movie like this, that's not crazy. Here's where it gets crazy.
It's still low.
41% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck 53% of people.
59% of people.
I thought you said 43%.
41%.
Fuck 59% of people. Fuck 59% of people. 59% of people can get fucked.
I don't know what they were watching.
They weren't watching the same movie I watched.
I don't know. I don't know if there was like a remake called Ben of Thieves featuring Ben from Parks and Rec, but
this movie starts off and within 35 seconds. I have a raging hard on.
This may be the most fun movie I've ever watched.
It was awesome. Okay, so 59% of people are just straight up wrong and should get fucked. What do the critics think?
It had a higher Metacritic score at
As it
49% than a
But fuck
41.
51% of critics.
Jacob is so mad right now.
I'm so mad. Fuck that.
Is it crazy to call this movie a masterpiece?
No, this movie is a masterpiece. So I'm officially traveling now. The day me and Nima watch, the day Nima and I watch this movie, we walked 9.5 miles total, and that's just walking. And we turned this movie at like 10:20 at night. And I told Nima, I was like, if you fall asleep in this movie, and in my head, there's no fucking if. It's when you fall asleep in this movie. I will rewatch whatever you miss as soon as you're willing to watch it, because I'm sure I'll be down. And 2 hours and 20 minutes later, I was like, how'd you like that movie? She's like, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I didn't walk 9 miles or anything, but I just had one of those weeks, just one of those really irritating weeks.
Yeah.
And I needed this movie, and it came in so clutch.
Awesome. Okay, what we don't have an Ebert review because this came out in 2018.
No, but I do have one from Nick LaSalle of the San Francisco Gate in a review titled Den of Thieves kicks off bad movie season in style.
Okay.
1 out of 4 stars.
Fuck him. But also, great title.
Yes.
Because I'm okay if you want to view heist/action movies as bad movies. They're not everybody's cup of tea. But if you're gonna call this a bad movie, you have to do it like he did in fucking style. Continue.
So he teaches us a little bit about film industry here.
Okay.
So this is how it works. In the fall, movies are intended to be good and usually are. In the summer, movies are intended to be bad but profitable, and they're usually both. But in January and February, we get this special season that when the movies are intended to be great but are horrible. But not normal horrible, we're talking 7-headed horrible, disaster site horrible. A movie like, for example, Den of Thieves. Which kicks off the 2018 winter season in style. Clocking in at 2 hours and 20 minutes, it seems intended to have been a crime epic in the vein of Michael Mann's Heat. About two men of talent and spirit who happen to be on opposite sides of the law. And it's sort of like that if you can imagine Michael Mann picture that has been set on fire and dropped from an airplane.
Okay. Outside of Roger Ebert, this is the first critic that's welcome on the pod.
Even though we differed about this movie, great writing style.
Yeah. You have a good sense of humor, and I like you.
He goes in writing more about the movie, and it's just as funny.
I'll have to read the rest of it later. Box office wise, this movie did pretty damn good. Didn't do great, but it made all its money plus some.
Good.
It's a $30 million budget.
How?
I mean, so many gunshots.
I
so many
the ammunition budget was $30 million for this movie.
Okay, fair enough. You're wondering, like, is it too low?
Yes.
Yeah, you're thinking more of a $45 million to $60 million budget.
My guess would have been 60 to 80.
I think it's 30 because they filmed in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
This was not filmed in LA.
Of course not.
Yeah. The opening weekend made half its money back, $15 million.
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Gross in the U.S. was about $45 million. So, like I said, made its money plus some. Worldwide, almost $81 million.
Yeah. Yeah, I could this you don't need to speak English to love this movie.
No. Because this movie is incredible.
Let's put it this way. You know how IMDb has the quote section?
Yeah.
And usually there's, I don't know, 60 quotes to a movie.
Uh-huh.
There's 3 for this one.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Wait, is there really? You're telling me.
I'm telling you, there's only 3.
Is there really? That fucking blows my mind.
Hold while Jacob Googles.
Yeah, hold
and searches. You are listening to I Remember My First Time, a movie podcast.
Yeah, where we do no research. None.
We just come across weird stuff and say it.
Yeah, we come across weird stuff and say it, and we pretty much exclusively look at IMDb. If IMDb doesn't have it, we don't know.
And he's about to tell me I'm right. There's only 3 quotes.
That's wild. It's the 3 quotes we used. Made that shit easy, didn't it, BJ?
So I usually don't pull quotes from IMDb, but I only had 2 quotes. So I was like, I need 2 more.
And you got on there and you're like, glad it wasn't the ones I had. Okay. Do we need to continue on our thoughts of the movie? Because everyone knows we loved it at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Let's just go dive right into what we liked about it. Okay. Jacob, go first after your 9 miles of walking.
Everything. The moment it starts, like I said, 35 seconds in, I had a raging hard on, and I didn't know what to do with the rest of the movie because it never went away.
The smoke mask at the beginning of the movie were so cool.
Yeah.
Like the gas mask is a villain mask. I've never seen it used, and it was so awesome.
Yeah. I like the intensity of the movie. I liked how it started off in your face. I loved everyone's character. Besides Ice Cube's son. He wasn't my favorite character. He was my least favorite character in the movie. Donnie. Wasn't a big fan of Donnie. But I think that was intentional. So I'm okay with it. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's not part of the movie that I didn't like. I like that part of the movie. He was the only character I didn't like. And then just the intensity, the gunshots, and I liked how they didn't try to make any of the heists too complicated.
Yes, and exactly. And on with Donnie's character. Look, this is a heist movie. There's going to be spoilers in this podcast. If you haven't seen it and don't want to be surprised, turn it off now. Go watch it.
Yep. This is your only warning.
All right. That's enough time for people to turn it off, right?
Yeah.
Donnie you were supposed to sleep on him.
Yeah. 100%.
That was the entire intention of it.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they made 2 hours and 18 minutes of him being slept on worth it for the last 2.
Yeah. Yeah. The last 2 or 3 minutes of this movie is just like, here's how he did it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Cool. Whatever. Really wanted Nikki Sabatka to come out on top, but I'm okay that he didn't.
Yeah.
And he will be referred to as Nikki Sabatka throughout this entire podcast because that's who he fucking is.
Yeah, it's either Nikki Sabatka or Liv Schriber's brother, which is really a shame because he's awesome. I've seen him in literally 2 things. This movie and as Nikki Sabatka, and he's awesome in both. Fuck people that think season 2 of The Wire sucks. It's not as good as 1 and 3.
No. But it's definitely the 3rd best season. So, whatever. Anything you didn't like about or what'd you like about the movie?
So I think I'm going to start off with a bang. What this movie does better than any movie I've ever seen before, I've never been so engaged for those exposition dumps. The exposition dumps are incredibly engaging.
Yeah. Fair. They are.
And it does, I don't know, 6 exposition dumps in this movie.
I mean, it's a 2 hour and 20-minute movie with essentially only 2 heists. There were 3, but
2 were connected.
Yeah. But you're right. So many exposition dumps. And They were so enjoyable to the point that I didn't even realize that's what they were.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it was so good at that because it probably had 15 minutes of exposition dump in this movie, and it was some of the best 15 minutes in this movie, which never happens.
Agreed.
The only other thing I want to say, and I think this is pretty obvious, I know the runtime is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I know I started this movie at 9:30 and finished it at 11:50. There's no way it's a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. There's no possible way.
No, flies by. Anything you didn't like about the movie?
Gerrad Butler is supposed to be born and raised and lived in LA his whole life. And I don't know what the fuck that accent he's throwing out there is. But I love it. It's not LA, but I love it. All they had to do is not have him be born in LA.
I'm a huge Gerrad Butler fan, for anybody that doesn't know that. And I've finally come to the realization, or not finally, I shouldn't say finally. When I became a big Gerrad Butler fan, I'm just like, I could give a shit what his accent is because it's never going to be right. And I'm okay with that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I want to see a Gerrad Butler movie. I don't expect his accent to be right. It's the same thing with Schwarzenegger or Stallone. Whatever.
So this isn't a what I didn't like. This is actually kind of a what I liked. But when they changed locations to take the hostages and sneak in through the blah blah blah, I was like, this is some lazy fucking writing. Like, this movie's lazy as shit. What are they doing? And then it turned, and I was like, that was genius.
See, I didn't think it was lazy writing. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm just like, the whole bank's surrounded. There's still an hour left in this movie. They're trying to hit the Fed Reserve. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, because I'm like, you've spent 12 minutes of exposition setting up this heist, and then you just did a 180 and you're doing something else with no exposition? What the fuck is this? And then, obviously, my opinion turned very, very quickly, and it was awesome.
Yes. Love that. So, was it a good or bad movie, BJ?
A masterpiece.
Agreed. And now it's time for us to get deep.
How deep, Jacob?
Balls deep, BJ. Balls deep. And you being the heist movie fan, how about you start us off on the Mount Rushmore of scenes? Your number 4.
My number 4 scene is, I'm trying to describe this properly. It is gun range, strip club, Nikki Sabatka showing up at Gerrad Butler's house after he fucked whatever girl was on the inside for Nikki Sabatka. There's not a word spoken in this entire stretch. Not one word is spoken, and it's some of the best acting you'll ever see.
I thought Nikki Sabatka was showing up at his own house.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess he did go sleep in that bed. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. Like, he set up Gerrad Butler to be like, I know where you are too.
I'm super happy that you put this little bit of the movie in your Mount Rushmore, because it did not make mine, but this shit was incredible.
Did you pay attention to the score in this movie?
Of course not. I never did.
Okay. I thought you were going to start trying. This would have been, but then again, to start it on a 2 hour and 20-minute movie is probably a good choice or a bad choice.
Correct. So there was no dialogue throughout this whole...
Not a bit. There's not a word spoken until Gerrad Butler gets in his phone and calls, I don't know, one of his crew members or something.
Wow. Incredible. That's awesome. My number 4, 2.5, 3-minute scene. It's the final reveal.
Yeah. Because I was kind of confused what happened. Okay, so I know O'Shea Jackson got away, got the money, replaced it with, whatever, shredded paper. But how? What? Where is he?
Yeah. I start. It's not completely a 2-minute scene. I started when Gerrad Butler walks back to his car and sees O'Shea Jackson gone. Like at that point, from there until the end, I'm just like, awesome. And I loved just the crew being wherever the fuck they are, setting up their next heist. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because there's so what? There was 4 of them, and they stole 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need more than that.
Yeah, 100% you do.
Yeah.
All right, BJ, number 3.
Number 3 is the opening scene. This movie comes out, no pun intended, firing.
Yes.
There's a crazy good shoot-off scene immediately in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it through Gerrad Butler showing up at the crime scene and just giving it his all. Gerrad Butler deserved an Oscar for that scene alone.
Yeah.
He's just on one. He's like, guys, stand back. Watch this.
Yeah, he's pretending to be hungover. Obviously some drug after effects going on too. Just having a shit fucking day.
Just opens the box of donuts and splattered in blood. Takes one of the donuts that doesn't have blood in it. Takes like 2 bites and chunks it into the crime scene.
And the Fed's like, you just threw a donut. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Oh, well, bad move on me. Bad move on me. Such a good scene. Okay, my number 3 is the getaway from the federal building.
Oh, the traffic jam.
The traffic jam shootout.
Yeah, you can tell they were in California because he was like, look at that. What do you see 30 cars back? And I'm like, it's a black F-150. There's no police markings on it. It's just a black F-150. Yep. In Texas, I'm like, that's 1 out of every 6 cars on the road. In Texas, I'd be like, why is there so many cars between us and a black F-150?
I needed one more cop to die in this scene because there were 3 Marines, all special ops, going against LA sheriffs. I needed one more cop to die in this scene.
I'm assuming most of the LA cops are military trained as well.
Whatever. They might not be special ops just because you're military. But yeah. I'm just saying, I needed one more cop to die. I'm fine with all 3 bad guys dying and most of the cops living. Only one cop died. It was from the big gun that Nikki used at first.
Yeah.
And at no other time did another cop catch a bullet other than the one in his leg. And I thought that was not realistic enough. But this scene was incredible. You had 50 Cent and Nikki Sabatka just doing their thing. And like Nikki said, I'm not cuffing up. And suicide by cop, baby. All you gotta do is point a gun at him. And if you're black, you don't even if you're black, you don't even have to do that.
Yeah. 50 Cent died.
Yeah.
I guess he was. Yeah. I mean, he was. How many civilians were killed in this shootout?
None.
There's no way.
None. Not one. They're all safe.
There's I don't know, 800 car pileup.
Speaking of which, you brought up a good point, and I wanted to bring this up. This is the perfect time to bring it up. None of the numerous missed shots seemed to hit the gas tanker truck behind the bad guys.
Of course not. with as I said earlier, boxes of bullets.
Boxes of bullets.
Yeah. Second favorite scene is the heist inside the Federal Reserve. This is heist movies at its finest.
This is my second favorite scene too, but I start this off with the heist and the bank that they go into the sewer.
Okay.
So I take it from that all the way to right before the getaway as my second favorite scene. So let's go ahead and talk about the Fed Reserve part first.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you do in a well-done heist movie. You're on the edge of your seat. I have no idea how long this scene is. This scene could be 45 minutes for all I know. Who knows about time in this movie? It doesn't exist.
But I was on the edge of my fucking seat.
I thought they were going to get caught 7 or 8 different times in this.
Me too. And when they got stopped coming in, when homeboy was like, you ran late, when O'Shea Jackson was doing the thing in the count room, there was like 3 or 4 times in the count room that I thought they were going to get caught. When they were fucking leaving, when he was leaving, I was like, what the fuck?
When the lady called down and was like, the delivery guy in the red shirt, go get him.
Ugh. How bad do you think that Chinese food was to take a bite out of that?
Oh, because it'd been there, what, a week?
Yeah, I'd have thrown up immediately. I wouldn't have been able to get on the phone.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Ugh, makes me kind of want to throw up now. Such a good scene. And then, like I said, I take this for my second scene. I take this to start with the bank in the beginning, the bank before they get to the Fed Reserve.
Okay.
Because it's so good. All those people think they're gonna die. They take the hostage back there and they shoot him, and everyone thinks that hostage is dead. It's such a good setup. And like you said, you thought it was lazy writing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So good.
Yeah, and that's actually my favorite scene because how it changed my mind on the scene. Now, how they got in and out of the sewer so quick, I don't fucking know.
Whatever. Like
who cares?
I don't watch movies to pick apart plot holes.
Especially a heist movie.
Like there are plot holes in every movie. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But and also like the negotiator, the feds, the LA County crime squad, all in the parking lot was just so good. Again, I was so confused. I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know why they went to that bank, why they're looking for a vault with whatever $800,000 in it. I had no clue what was going on. And when I figured out everything going on, I was like, God, I'm a fucking dumbass. I loved this scene so much.
This is a good number one scene because, like you said, it changes your whole mind about it. My number one scene, what do you think it is?
Is it the opening scene where you got a hard on 2 minutes into the movie?
Of course it's the opening scene.
2 minutes, sorry, 30 seconds.
35 seconds, I said. 35 seconds. And I, like you, I take it through the cop showing up the next day, and I have this written out for your pleasure. I don't like how you do police work. Whoa. I like you, besides the fact that you're a vegetarian. I'm vegan. Vegetarians eat milk. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. What the fuck are you doing here? This isn't federal. Yeah. And then Gerrad Butler goes, are you pausing for dramatic effect?
Their relationship was awesome because they had the same banter in the bank that they robbed and escaped from.
And then at the very end of the movie, he was like, sorry you lost a guy, which very law enforcement, military kind of thing to do. Like, doesn't matter what you feel about somebody. Like, sorry you lost one of your guys. And the thing that made me laugh harder than it should have in this movie, I'm sure for you, it was the prom night and 50 Cent taking.
There was no reason for that scene to be in this movie whatsoever.
But it was incredible because, like, I loved at first 50 Cent just straight up going, even if you are blood, you ain't doing that shit with my daughter, and put his bandana in his jacket and then took him out to the garage. I'm sure that was your funny scene that you laughed too hard at. For me, it was Gerrad Butler calling the Fed a vegetarian and him getting so pissy. He goes, I'm vegan, because that's such a vegan thing to do.
Yeah, that did make me laugh. Or like, I kind of thought this was going to be kind of almost like a more comedic element to it after that first scene, because I did love how pissed off he was. And then he had to explain to him what's vegan. It's like, dude, it's 2018. We all know what a fucking vegan is, bro.
The vegans eat milk. First of all, you don't eat milk. And then Gerrad Butler's just like, yeah, sorry to hear that. Just, the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, because it's one thing. It's like, okay, you can go without eating eggs. That's cool. Oh, or without eating meat. That's cool. Oh shit, you can't eat eggs and cheese either. God damn, that sucks.
All right, we did it. Mount Rushmore scenes.
Shout out to the dinner scene where Gerrad Butler goes and talks to O'Shea Jackson. Great scene.
Yeah,
it deserves to be mentioned in here, but
that's
my honorable mention.
Yeah, and then to follow that scene up with getting back to the hideout and putting the gun in O'Shackson's face and being like, "You fucking cop." Good scene. Good scene. I also like, as another honorable mention, the one where they the bar scene where Gerrad Butler meets Donnie and then tases him outside.
Actually, the part I might have laughed harder than I should have at is the two black ladies fawning over O'Shea Jackson when he delivers their food.
That was good. Yeah. All right. Character breakdown.
Start with what? Gerrad Butler? He's the star, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
This is the best acting he's ever done in a movie.
Sure.
You're the bigger fan. I may have to ask you, but
I just know that he was incredible. And he always is. Every movie that I've ever seen with Gerrad Butler, I've enjoyed everyone, even Bounty Hunter. Like,
was that the one with Jennifer Aniston?
100% it was. Like, it doesn't matter what he's in. I like Gerrad Butler.
Season 46 of this podcast, The Bounty Hunter with Gerrad Butler and Jennifer Aniston.
But
why have we both seen The Bounty Hunter and not Den of Thieves?
Oh, right. But he's such a badass in this movie, and like his acting is top notch. He's throwing 100 or batting 100, whatever the fuck it is.
Throwing 100 just means you're giving it your absolute all.
Okay,
you're firing gas.
That's what he's doing.
I love how often he smokes inside in LA. Because he's like, I'm an LA County sheriff. Call the fucking cops.
Speaking of call the cops, I loved him showing up to his ex-sister-in-law's house. What an intense fucking scene.
There was no reason to put his ex-wife storyline. I feel like they tried to make him a sympathetic figure, and I was like, I do not feel 1 ounce of sympathy for this piece of shit.
I think they tried to make him, like, not necessarily sympathetic, just like human. Like, yeah, he's shitty, but he cares about his family to an extent. Like, mostly his daughters. His daughters, not his wife.
Not to actually not sleep around with strippers, but
yeah,
like not that much.
Yeah, but just to show just like a human element, I guess. And then it was that dinner scene where he showed up at his ex-sister-in-law's house that you're just like, I don't care what kind of human this guy is. He's garbage.
Straight garbage.
Straight garbage. And just straight up call the cops. And just laughing. Call the fucking cops.
But best part of being a cop has got to be not having to worry about DUIs.
100%. We're looking at you, McNulty.
Hey, excellent transition. Let's move on to Nikki Sabatka.
Oh, perfect. Pablo Schreiber's so good. I want to see him in more stuff because the two things that I've seen him in, The Wire and this, why isn't he a bigger star than Liv Schriber?
That's a great question, and I don't know why, because he's great in both of them. And you know what was kind of awesome to see? Somebody who's realistically jacked.
Yeah.
Like, not Superman, Chris Hemsworth jacked, but like a guy who you would see at the gym, you're like, that fucker's jacked.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice to see.
Like. Yeah, 100%.
He's an ugly motherfucker, though.
Oh, he's butt ass ugly.
He is. Like, and that may be why he's not as big a star.
Yeah, because Liv Schreiber's not ugly.
No.
He's so good at playing a bad guy.
A bad guy who has something to him because he's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
And not calculus 4.0 smart, but like you give him anything, he'll figure it out.
100%. I want to see him. I want to watch more Pablo Schriber movies and TV shows. Nikki Sabatka, baby. That's all I got to say. Anything else?
I thought he was so good in this movie. I can't reiterate how good he was in this movie.
Agreed. O'Shea Jackson.
I mean, you wonder this whole movie, like, why are they showing so much of O'Shea Jackson? This is so weird.
Mm-hmm. And then when you get the final reveal, you like everything starts to make sense down to the point where the scene after the dinner scene, like Nikki Sabatka believes that he wouldn't do anything to jeopardize this mission because it's his mission.
Right.
Yeah. Donnie was good, and I liked how much I disliked him and liked him through the whole movie, because I didn't just dislike him as a character. There were just parts about him that I didn't like, because like immediately he was giving up his boys, and I was like, damn, like he wasted no time.
Yeah, he gave token effort not to give him up.
Yeah, and so just from those things, like immediately didn't like him, but still liked him too. Like it was weird for me because I liked him a lot throughout the movie, but also disliked him a lot. And then the end, I was like, damn.
Yeah, because there's basically only 3 characters in this movie for all intents and purposes. Everyone else is just filler. Yeah. And the other 2, they're showing their real life people at times. They never did that with O'Shea Jackson. He was only shown as the crook. And it was so weird to me until they got to the end, and it was beautiful.
We even got some 50 Cent family life or whatever. Yeah. And none from O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah, just the way they utilized the character was so awesome in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of 50 Cent, why is the explosive guy in a heist movie always a black guy? Ocean's 11, it's Don Cheadle. The Italian Job, it's Mos Def. This movie, it's 50 Cent. What's the deal with that?
That's a good question. I don't know. And then why is the smart guy always some skinny white dude?
No, it was in this movie, it was kind of the big Samoan Hawaiian guy that was the...
Then what was the other Marine guy? What did he do? Because he also did the brownout for the Fed Reserve.
That dude wasn't... The bald guy? He wasn't skinny.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. The bald guy with the killer-looking
crazy
facial hair?
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't skinny.
It's a skinny white dude.
He was not skinny.
He's skinnier than both of us.
That's being the smartest kid in summer school.
Okay, on the trivia. Here's some factual errors. While LA has had the title of the bank robbery capital of the world, given in 1963, and it does have a history of infamous bank heists, it does not have a, quote, robbery occur every 48 minutes, as it says in the opening title. Only in its greatest year of 1992 does it come close, with 2,641 bank robberies in the 7-county region of LA. One every 66 minutes.
Yeah, because the town told me that was the bank robbery capital of the world.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure heist movies just throw that shit up there to make it sound more cool.
Oh, I don't believe any of them.
Yeah,
I'll just say that right now.
The bank robbery stats in the opening credits were kind of correct for 1992 only, that being the worst year ever for recorded offenses. The current figure is less than 1/10 of that volume. Because I'm sure it's harder to steal from banks nowadays.
Way too many cameras.
Yep. The leader of the gang, Nikki Sabatka, says the Federal Reserve Bank deletes the serial numbers of bills when they are shredded. This is not true. The Federal Reserve does not do this. It would be the Treasury that could do it, but they do not do it since they need to keep record of all serial numbers ever printed. Just in case anyone was curious.
Stop ruining this for me, Jacob. Actually, you're not ruining it. I don't care. It's a heist movie. What?
I didn't think you would. Gerrad Butler gained 25 pounds for his role as recommended by director Christian Goodcast. So 25 pounds of muscle is what it looked like, because he looked like a stout motherfucker.
Yeah, he looked like he could take a hit.
Yeah. Prior to filming, 2 separate boot camps were run in order to get the cops and robbers in shape for their respective roles, with both groups training separately to enforce a rival atmosphere. Interestingly, each group was trained differently by military consultant Paul Marouse. Gerrad Butler and his crew are loosely based on former ATF agent Jay Dobbins, who consulted on the film. Dobbins is best known for his undercover work and his willingness to infiltrate crime organizations, much like Butler's character. Dobbins makes a cameo in the film at the bar Donnie works at in L.A., closing his tab at the bar.
If I ever consult on a movie, I want a cameo.
Me too. The director's original cut of the film was closer to 160 minutes and featured a different ending.
I can't imagine this movie with a different ending.
Right. Merman makes the comment, let's make sure we don't have any accidental discharges, and looks at Bosco, who played Cheddar Bob in 8 Mile, who shot himself by accident in the movie.
That was Cheddar Bob?
Yeah, again, skinny white guy.
He's not skinny in this movie.
Actor Brian Von Holt, who played both sides of the LAPD-LSAD rivalry. He played an LAPD officer in SWAT and an LASD deputy in this movie. In addition, actor Pablo Schriber similarly played an ex-military professional who utilizes the M249 SAW machine gun for his job in 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Except in 13 Hours, he was a former Army Ranger turned CIA security contractor. And in Den of Thieves, he's a former U.S. Marine turned bank robber.
Former U.S. Marine turned bank robber is awesome.
In the closing credits, the $100 bill has the serial number DOT 00002018 for Den of Thieves 2018.
Yeah.
And I saved this one for last to ruin the movie for you.
Can't. Too good.
When Donnie is in the count room bagging up $100 bills to be shredded, he either bags 12 or 13 relatively small bags. They appear to weigh in the 2 to 3 pound range. The goal of the robbery was $30 million. Based on the weight of $100 bills, 1 million weighs 22.05 pounds. Even if each bag had 1 million, that would equate to 280 pounds of cash, which is clearly not the case. Also, if each bag weighed 5 pounds each, that would equal just under 3 million total. 30 million and a $100 bill weighs about 661.5 pounds.
Oh, I was doing that math when this was happening.
Okay.
I was saying, okay, so $1 million is 10,000 $1 bills. So he would need 300,000
little bags.
Yeah, 300,000 $1 bills. There was not over of $250,000 $1 bills that he threw in there.
I gotcha.
And I didn't care.
No, of course you didn't. Fuck it. That's my movie. That's my trivia and facts.
Nice. Good stuff.
Thank you.
You ready for impersonation time?
Yeah. What do we got today?
We're doing Gerrad Butler's weird ass accent.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm so bad at accents. Let's do it.
Lobbin' Bob. Fuck you and your vegan fucking ass. Cigarettes are vegan, right? Don't you take this fucking cigarette, smoke it out of your fucking pussy lips, you fucking Lobbin' Bob piece of shit. I'm on the most corrupt fucking organization that's ever existed in America. Fuck off, Lobbin' Bob. I'm from LA.
Oh, man. I am fucking hungry. What the fuck's eating around here? You have one of those donuts. Not all of them have blood on it. Fucking righteous. This is what I want. A fucking donut. Any fucking kolaches in there? I need a fucking I need some fucking meat. Deal with this fucking shit out here. What do we got going on? That's all I got. Yours was way better.
Yeah, if you care about accents, you gotta just ignore Gerrad Butler's speech.
In every movie.
Yeah.
Should they remake this?
Why not? I mean, you basically just remade Heat, so sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Which Heat's one of the 15 best movies of all time.
I've still never seen Heat, so we'll have to do it on this pod.
All right. Yeah. Heat's better than this.
Okay. Final thoughts on the movie in general. So what's your rating, BJ?
This movie is fun. This movie is exciting. Keep in mind, this movie was made for this podcast, and I like every heist movie ever made. When I finish this movie, my original thoughts, it's over a 9.0. So this movie is a 9.4.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome.
Good score.
Every bit of this movie's awesome.
It's crazy that you give this movie a 9.4 and still say Heat's better, so I'm excited for Heat. 8.4 for me.
Okay.
This movie's just incredible. It's so much fun. And it doesn't feel like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
No, it flies by.
Watch this movie. So, a little different on my good and bad IMDb reviews. I did 2 of each because I like this movie so much, and there were some good ones, even though there wasn't a lot to pick from, and I had to read you 4.
Fair.
So
if they're good, I don't care.
Yeah. So by Smart TV 8094331, 10 out of 10, titled "It's Really Good." I don't often rewatch movies, but I've actually rewatched this one 3 times. Pablo and Gerrad have some great rivalry chemistry going on. 2 big bulls facing off. I love the
2 meaty men smacking man meat.
Yeah. I love the firefights, which are mostly accurately portrayed. Must have some good ex-LEO or ex-MIL advising. My actual rating was 9, but I gave it a 10 to offset those ridiculous ones I see here. There is just no way in hell this is a 1 out of 10. And to those rating it low because it copied from Heat, guys, Heat came out in 95, 23 years before this one. I think it's fair to say a 23-year gap between solid firefight heist movies is okay, yeah? What period of time would you prefer? 100 years? Get real. Highly advise watching this for anyone still on the fence.
He's Smart TV, random numbers. Come on, this podcast.
Yeah. What period of time would you prefer? 100? Get real.
The one where they're twirling their mustaches, saving the girl off the train tracks.
Okay. Mr. Las Vegas 2020. 10 out of 10. Don't listen to the BS reviews. This is one of the year's best movies.
Facts.
I went to see this movie on a Friday night with low expectations, thinking it'll be an average fluff heist movie. Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it 38%.
Woo!
Yeah, it was 38% when it was still in theaters. And as usual, they are full of crap. This movie is really good. That's why the Rotten Tomatoes audience scores 87%. Also, big change.
I think Rotten Tomatoes splits the difference.
First-time director Christian Gudkins, writer of screenplays such as A Man Apart and London Has Fallen, did a really good job and looked like a veteran director. Gerrad Butler is fantastic. 50 Cent and O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, were pretty good, but the breakout star of this movie will be this guy named, all caps, Pablo Schriber, paternal half-brother of Liv Schriber. That might be why he's uglier. He was...
the second baby mama wasn't as good looking.
I think so. He was the main bad guy, and his acting will blow your mind. He was a bona fide badass, and I'm sure we will see a lot of him in other movies to come. He has definitely arrived. He also acted in 13 Hours and Orange is the New Black. Pablo will be the breakout star from this movie. If you want a nonstop edge-of-your-seat action movie with a huge twist, go watch this. Don't listen to the haters that are miserable with their lives and can't ever appreciate anything good. It's definitely one of the best heist movies I've seen in a long time. Love the twist in the end.
The only reason he's not welcome on the podcast is not referring to Pablo Schriber as Nikki Sabatka from The Wire.
Agreed. All right, my 2 bad ones. And I put this one in. I put the first bad one in because you'll know why. It's by R. Castle, 233517. 1 out of 10, titled B-Movie Sleaze.
Yeah, that's what B movies are, bro.
Den of Thieves is a crude, sleazy B-movie remake of Heat with an overweight Gerrad Butler in the Pacino role.
Fuck off, man. Butler
And,
was great in this movie.
and someone named Pablo Schriber haplessly trying to fill De Niro's shoes.
Okay. If you're upset because Gerrad Butler and Pablo Schriber are not De Niro and Pacino, go fuck yourself.
Right. The rest of the cast is a faceless batch of B-listers acting butch. A really repulsive movie where it's nearly impossible to tell the cops from the cooks, since both crews are equally greasy, tattooed, and foul-mouthed. Avoid.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This is definitely mad at tattoo person guy.
Yeah, this guy lives a miserable life. Okay. Of course, you know by this person's username that they didn't like this movie. Lady LaRoche 23.
It was not made for Lady LaRoche.
1 out of 10. I feel sorry for professional movie critics is the title. Watching this movie made me realize how hard these people have it sometimes. The movie was boring and cliche. Oh, the bad guys are human too. They have family and nice to each other. Oh, the cops are pretty gangster. They smoke and go to strip clubs. One has a failed marriage to give sympathy to the character because he is human too. That's not what happened with that character, but whatever.
No, because if you don't do that stuff, this person's saying there's no character development in this movie.
Give me a break. Do it more sleek, more smarter.
More smarter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
more
right.
smarter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Take the genre further and push it like the other guys.
What?
Where it became this comedy or Ocean series, a true Den of Thieves, The Italian Job with its Mini Cooper, etc., etc. Don't just take the lazy way out.
So the Italian Job pushed the genre because it had Mini Coopers? Like that's her definition of pushing a genre? Put a cool car in there?
And the other guys became a comedy, wasn't a comedy.
It had Will Ferrell in it. It was clearly intended to be a comedy.
If the goal to focus on action scenes only, do it like John Wick. Make it more believable. Unlike that one scene near the end, where as the bystander casualty, Gerrad Butler, you deserve better than this movie. Please stop making me suffer. You were so great at Stoic. I cried at you know what. Please be in a better movie. And movie critics, I salute you. Though you do get paid to watch this while I'm not.
This is the perfect Gerrad Butler movie.
I know. Like I said, this movie wasn't made for Lady LaRoche 23.
No. And here again, much like Schreiber and Butler are really good actors, they're not Pacino and De Niro. You want every action movie to be John Wick good? Calm down.
Right.
Calm down.
Like, chill out. And then the question of the pod: should people watch this movie? And it's
yes.
Yeah. It's a hell yeah.
Make 2 hours and 20 minutes in your life for this movie.
Yes. You will thank us later.
Yeah, just skip that strip club night and watch this movie. Jacob had a boner. Jacob would have a boner at either one for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
You don't hear me denying it. Question before we sign off. At the end of the movie, after Nikki has got this final gunshot wound and he's dying, he said to Gerrad Butler, "I told you so." What was he talking about? What did he tell him?
He wasn't going to get cuffed up.
That's what I thought.
That was my interpretation.
I just couldn't remember if what they talked about was something earlier or whatever.
Because I think that's the only time they talk to each other, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because the other time was in the
diner. They're kind of talking
the
at
dinner.
each other.
Yeah,
but
they're talking at each other, but not to each other. And I know I should that me asking this question made me think this, and I know this was your third favorite scene, but the gun range scene was so good.
It was.
It was so good.
It was, that whole stretch where nobody talks is incredible.
Mm-hmm. It's so hard to do such a long stretch of nobody talking in a movie.
Yeah, next time I watch it, I'll see how long that actually is.
Okay. Yeah, because you'll probably watch this before me again.
This may be my new once a year heist movie watch.
Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's so much fun, man. It's so much fun.
Do we know what we're doing next week? We don't do it. Is it your birthday episode? Is that coming up?
No. That's not until June 30th.
Yeah, we've only been friends for 10 years. Is your birthday episode coming up? No, not for another month and a half, my friend.
So I am going on a trip to New York. Should we do a Woody Allen movie?
No, I don't. No.
You don't want to do Blue Jasmine?
No, I don't want to do fucking Woody Allen. Ugh. Let's do a Scorsese movie since you're going to New York.
Let's do one 2 hour and 20-minute movie after another.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, BJ. That's us, IRMF team. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. We have email. Hit us up. If you have a movie you want us to do, hit us up.
Wait, Jacob?
Yeah.
Major League is on Pluto TV right now.
Okay, let's do Major League.
All right.
Major League it is.
It's a little bit lighter than a Scorsese movie.
Yeah, and like you said, we just got done with a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. It might be hard to fit two 2 hour 20-minute movies in 2 weeks.
By the way, I just want to tell you now, you're welcome for the Charlie Sheen trivia that you're going to get.
Should I go ahead and just start doing it now? Is there going to be that much?
Probably. Let's see. 82 on trivia.
Oh, that's not that bad. I'm excited for the good and bad IMDb reviews on this one.
There's no way anybody has this as a bad IMDb review.
I think you put too much faith in humanity.
That's true. I just saw one of the greatest movies of all time with a 41% Rotten Tomatoes score.
There's only 140 total reviews of this movie.
Yeah, it came out in like 88 or 89.
There is one-star review. The best are the old ones. I like old films because they're interesting. There is no doubt they are better than the new ones. I don't know what that means. Am I going to know what it means after the movie?
No, hell no.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to try to find a bad one.
You just heard one of our bad reviews because you're reading that one for that movie too.
I'm gonna try to find something else because that one sucks.
Old man yells at clouds.
But we'll see y'all next week for Major League.
Bye.